So in today's video, we're going to take a look at an awesome exercise you can do to get a little bit more life out of your comping, and it's a really good way to kind of rethink the way that you're using your chord voicings, because I have a lot of wonderful jazz students who can comp really well. They've got good command over their drop 2, drop 3 chords, some other fun ones able to throw in there. And the thing that I find a lot of people sometimes struggle with is they get kind of into a box. So if they learn a song, they'll play exactly the same voicing every single time, even though they maybe know a bunch of inversions or a bunch of other ways to play those chords. They just kind of get comfortable and then they get stuck. And this is an exercise that you can do, again, at first I recommend doing this just by yourself in your room so that you can get used to some of these phrases and working on these so that you can get a couple cool things under your fingers before you try it out either on stage or in front of other people, because that's another place where we tend to clam up and do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But this exercise, what we want to do is we want to think about the top note of our chord rather than voicings. We work on voicings to follow this top note. I'll just kind of show you what I mean. So let's say, for example, we were playing a tune like, let's say Autumn Leaves, and I'm going to play this in the key that everybody kind of really plays it in, not the key that it's in the real book. So I'm going to play this in the key of G minor. Let's think about these in 4-bar phrases and how we can think of this. We can obviously string it longer, but just to get started, we're going to think in 4 bars. So for this chord progression, the common chords that people would play would be, say, C minor 7, and here I'm just playing a simple drop 2 voicing, F7, B flat major 7, and then E flat major 7. And again, this is something that an intermediate jazz guitarist might play comping in these 4 bars, these 4 voicings. So the autumn leaves. There's nothing wrong with that, but when we bring in this kind of creative comping exercise, this helps us hack into this ability that a lot of compers have, where they almost play chords like they're solo phrases. Like the comping alone is a cool musical idea, rather than an afterthought where I'm just playing the chord that it says on the sheet, man, don't ask me about it. And so one really cool thing to try with this is to try and play a totally ascending melody line with these chords. So here what I'm going to try to think is I want the top note of my chord to go higher every single time. So if I start on this same C minor 7, what if I were to play this F7? So now my melody note went from here to here. Well, I'll do it once in context and then I'll tell you what I'm doing. So what if instead of those kind of stock voicings, I worried about trying to have the note climb up the notes of the scale? So that might look something like this. I'll play it once for you and then I'll break down kind of what I'm actually grabbing. So what if I went, so what I did there is I kept this melody line going up the scale, which is a really cool kind of sound, because now if someone's soloing over this or someone's playing the melody, it's almost like what's happening underneath it again is an actual musical contribution or something that's worthwhile on its own, without me just kind of treating my accompaniment here just playing chords that are on the sheet. So again, what did I do? I played C minor 7, just a drop 2 chord in root position, and my top note is E flat. I want to get this to go up. So when I played F7, I played this, which is a 5th and bass drop 3 chord. So I have 8, skip the A string, 7, 8, 6. Then I played B flat major 13. So it's like this B flat major 7 chord that you probably know and love. But now, rather than the 5th on top, F, I have G, which is the 13 in this case, or the 6 but up an octave. And then when I get to that E flat major 7, I played a Lydian chord of, it's E major 7, but it's E major 7 sharp 11. So that A's on top. So again, I took this turned it into this. It's a really, really nice sound. And then, what if for the next 4 bars, which this chord progression is now going to go A minor 7 flat 5, D7 altered to G minor 6. So okay, I'm up here on this E flat. What if I now flip my idea? So now rather than having the top note ascend, I'm going to have the top note descend. And what if I keep this same A as my top note right now? So what I'm going to play is this A minor 7 flat 5 over E flat. So it's a 5th and bass A half diminished chord. So I'm on 11, skip a string, 10, 12, 10. Now for D, what if I play D7 flat 5 or D7 sharp 11? So this is like my normal drop 3 D chord, but my melody note on the B string I'm dropping to A flat. Beautiful. And then this can fall to G minor 6 over D, which is gonna be 10, skip the A string, 8, 9, not 7, and then 8. So that minor 6. So that phrase again we get. So that whole bit, actually I'll play that full 8 bars. I'll do it not with this kind of idea where I'm chasing my melody note to kind of give it this feeling of continuity, and then I'll do it while chasing that continuity. So if I was, your average intermediate jazz guitarist, I've got a couple chords under my fingers, and I'm looking at autumn leaves, this might be what I play. I might go. Nothing wrong with that, but what about this? I missed the melody note. I'm going to try that one more time. What about this? So that little da, 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 da. Now let's flip what I did. So what if I played C minor 7, because it's an AABA tune, so we do that same 8 bars again, but now what if I went descending the first time and ascending on the next 4 bars? So what if I played this? So I start out here on my C minor 7. This is a normal drop 3 chord in root position, so 8, skip a string, 8, 8, 8. Then I'm going to drop to the same F7. So this is a 5th and bass drop 3 chord. So my melody note falls there. Now for this B flat chord, to keep this melody note falling, I might make this a Lydian chord. That's a totally good way to go. So this is B flat major 7 sharp 11. And now I want to get D. So what if I play E flat major 7 over G? This is 3 1 3 3. So to recap that phrase, the descending phrase, I had C minor 7 in root position, F dominant 7 with C in the bass, which fell to a Lydian chord. This is B flat major 7 sharp 11, which then fell to E flat major 7 over G, which puts my D in the melody. Then, and so this is 3, skip a string, 1, 3, 3. Now, what if I go to this root position, A minor 7 flat 5, because again, now I'm trying to ascend, so D rises to E flat. Now for this D7, I could just play a stock D7 drop 2 voicing, but this is a pretty chord, it's not too exciting. So what if I did this, put my middle finger down on the D string rather than my ring finger? I get this beautiful dominant 7 flat 5. And now this again can go up to a G minor 6 chord or just a G minor triad if I want. I could also make it a G minor 9 if I wanted to be fancy. I kind of like that. So this voicing it's a G minor triad on your A, D, and G strings. So 10, 8, 7. And then I'm putting my pinky on 10 again. And that gives you a really, really nice kind of sound. So let's hear that in context. So this time on the A section, the second A section, I went C minor 7, F7, sound. And again, what this does is it just makes my comping feel like it has a bit of a sense of purpose, and it gives you that cool idea of the melody moving around to play. And now, of course, there's no rule that you have to do it in these 4-bar chunks. You could fall and rise for 8 bars if you wanted. You can mess around with it however you like, but this is a really good way to start thinking about finding some cool, thinking about them as chord phrases. Like many of us have probably stolen a lick or something before to play in solos, and this gives you something kind of like a lick, but it's a chordal lick. It's something that you play when you're accompanying others that kind of adds something of musical value rather than just being there. So that's pretty much it for today's lesson. If you have any questions about it, please leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out more than you could know. If you want to take a guitar lesson with me, there's a link to that down in the description. I'd love to work with you on whatever's troubling you on the guitar. I'm taking all genres and all levels of students, and I've been connecting with a bunch of you fine folk from YouTube, and it's been so fun to connect with people all over the world. If you want to support me in the channel, you can subscribe to my Patreon. That's also available down in the description below. All of my patrons get early access to videos, and they also get some cool behind-the-scenes sneak peeks and exclusive content that I don't post anywhere else. So if you want to do that, I'd love to see you over there. You can join a wonderful community of guitar fans. If you wanted to support me in this free content in another way, you could purchase my ebook or my video course all about triads all over the neck and several different ways to practice them. That's all available in the description as well. It's a great way to support me, and you get some awesome educational content for yourself. And last but not least, I've got new videos coming out every single week, so I hope I'll see you in the next one. And until I do, I'll wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you have some fun playing the guitar. Thanks.